There is something very strange happening in Hollywood that we should all be paying attention to as we continue to see different celebrities fleeing Hollywood for various reasons. And some of those reasons are very suspicious. Other reasons are a lot more justifiable, and today we're going to be taking a look at why Cameron Diaz has left Hollywood, why she fled Hollywood, and everything else in this article that just came out a few days ago. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to warn you guys right now, okay, in this article here. Make sure they don't have any objects close to you, because when you get to the end of this article, it's very possible that you might want to chuck a chair through a window or something after you see what the end of this article has to say. But let's go ahead and get into this. Why Cameron Diaz left Hollywood and why she's making a comeback at 50. The actress proved a hit at the box office in the indie movie scene, but her career took a surprising nosedive in the early 2000s. Now, after 8 years, she has returned with the Netflix film Back in Action. And she goes into a lot of reasons for why this was the case. The last movie Cameron Diaz starred in was the 2014 film Annie. She didn't announce her retirement. She simply stopped appearing in movies. In 2018, she spoke about her withdrawal from Hollywood during a reunion with her co-stars in The Sweetest Thing, Selma Blair and Jennifer Applegate. When asked if she would be interested in making a sequel to the romantic comedy, Diaz replied, "I'm totally down. I'm semi-retired too, and I'm actually retired, so I would love to see you ladies." Many took this as a joke, but this didn't take away from the fact that the actress had no upcoming movies. A big turnaround for a star who had made 40 movies in 20 years. So why had the once highest paid actress in Hollywood taken a step back? Now we can get into a lot of speculation for why this is, because of course, sometimes the truth is a lot deeper than what we were actually told. There's a lot of very sinister things that continue to happen in Hollywood. And I just saw this crazy thread that was on Twitter that went into all of the different women from Hollywood that were from like the 60s, the 70s, and everything else, who were made to do very terrible things in Hollywood because of the different producers, the executive producers and everything else demanded it of them if they wanted to keep their jobs and everything else. Now, some of those things are definitely things that I wouldn't have done, whether my job was on the line or not. So, there's a lot of just crazy stuff that goes on in Hollywood, as we all know. For starters, a lot had been happening in her personal life. In 2015, she announced her marriage to Benji Madden, the guitarist of the band Good Charlotte, after a 7-month relationship and a 17-day engagement. So that was one of the reasons for why. Since then, she has turned to family life. Good for her. Honestly. Good for her. That is something that is very rare, unfortunately, these days in Hollywood, as we continue to see different actresses boasting about how they basically sacrificed their children so that they could keep their career in many disgusting ways. Since then, she has turned to family life. I couldn't imagine being a mom now where I'm at as a mother with my child at her first year to have to be on a movie set that takes 14 hours, 16 hours of my day away from my child. So then it kind of gets into, her career, how she rose to fame and everything else, starting with, movies all the way back in the 90s with independent films, and how she kind of quickly rose through the ranks and became a huge name and everything else, which we all are aware of, I'm sure. But then we get to this final paragraph here that just was like, oh my gosh, come on, are you serious? So the paragraph before this one says, it wasn't until 2006 with the movie The Holiday that Diaz's career appeared to have taken a turn for the worst. It took another dive with What to Expect When You're Expecting in 2012. The situation became so dire that Vulture magazine even dedicated a story to it. Why can't Cameron Diaz make a good movie? Whether the movies do well, like her Spring Sleeper The Other Woman, or arrive at the box office dead on arrival, like this weekend's flop Sex Tape, you can always count on them to earn bad reviews. If she keeps making bad movies, Hollywood will start losing interest in her long before audiences do. But in the end, it was Diaz who lost interest in Hollywood. And good for her, man. And then we get into this paragraph. That is until friend Jamie Foxx brought her out of her semi-retirement. At the end of the year, Netflix will Back in Action, an apt title for Diaz's comeback. She left the movie scene at 40, and now she is coming back at age 50, when roles for women are notoriously limited. But she is not going to let that stop her. Anyway, Cameron Diaz, good for her for putting family first and for focusing on that. That is an awesome thing to see and something that Hollywood could definitely learn a lesson from. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.